Let us pray.
Kings reign and princes decree justice, and from whom alone cometh all counsel, wisdom, and understanding. We thine unworthy servants have gathered together in thy name, do most humbly above, to direct and guide us in all of our consultations. And grant that we, having fear also before our eyes, and I laying aside
President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Western Caribbean States, invite the members of this Parliament to this special joint sitting of the Senate and usual chambers on Library Street in our capital city. Your presence here is historic. In that infamous and horrible Atlantic slave trade that shaped the history of the Caribbean and the Americas as well as Africa. The only priest from Nigeria who answered the call and came Honorable Meade, Premier of Montreal.
Opportunity to rekindle and deepen the existing bonds between our people and our countries. We
move that the Honorable House of Assembly be adjourned to Thursday, July 3rd at 10 a.m.
As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Sitting adjourned.
All rise.
And Parliament of St. Lucia, I extend our heartfelt gratitude for your historic address during your official visit. Your presence marked a profound moment in our shared journey, strengthening ties between Africa and the Caribbean, particularly in areas such as economic development, education, health, and infrastructure, will inspire a renewed commitment to collaboration. We are especially moved by a recognition of our cultural bonds and the enduring spirit that links our peoples across oceans. Your visit has not only honored our nation, but has also reaffirmed the importance of global solidarity rooted in shared values and history. We look forward to building on this foundation with purpose and pride. With heartfelt gratitude and highest esteem, we thank you, Mr. President.
The President of Nigeria to St. Lucia, on behalf of the Oecs heads of government, I want to thank him for taking time off to be with us. This morning, we held a joint session of Parliament where you heard from the President on his vision for the future relationships between the Oecs and Nigeria. we held a high-level luncheon where the president outlined to us how the OECS would benefit from the country of Nigeria. To this effect, we have formed a joint committee which will comprise members of the Nigerian government and members of the OECS government. We have formed a joint committee which will comprise members of the Nigerian government and members of the OECS to deal with some pressing issues: education, air travel, trade, and tourism. These 4 issues will be the topics that the joint committee, comprising of members of the Nigerian government and members of the St. Lucian government. Our discussions were very fruitful, and I want to thank the President for agreeing so we can have some instant results from our meeting this morning. And again, on behalf of the OECS, I want to thank the President for his incisiveness and his wanting for our 2 countries, for our 2 St. Lucia and the OECS and Nigeria, for us to get closer together for the shared benefits of our people. As you know, we share a common history, we share a common identity, and we share a common culture. And our 2 countries will strengthen these relations, the OECS and Nigeria. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I will now take 2 questions from the...
to reciprocate such gesture to strengthen mutual ties. And how soon can that be?
Well, in fact, at the joint meeting, we discussed that, and there are some islands in the OECS, St. Kitts, where there are no visa requirements. What we said is that committee will deal with all these issues, and the first on the agenda will be the people which would come with the visa requirements. But is the first topic on the agenda for discussion. So we hope to have a speedy answer to that at the soonest possible opportunity.
Okay, so I now invite 1 question from a local media house.
From St. Lucia, please.
Okay. You can use the microphone, please.
Ryan Daisy, issue. Obviously, the President's visit is a first step. How soon should we see those plans unfolding? And also, in more specific terms, the scholarship component?
Well, I am very pleased that the President immediately instructed that a committee should be formed, or will be formed. That is going to happen almost immediately. We've named our OECS side, and the President has named his Nigerian side. We expect the scholarships to happen in the next academic year. We expect students to be studying in Nigeria in the next academic year, based on the fact that the President has instructed that should happen, and the committee will deal with it. So in the next year, we expect the scholarships to begin. Before, we have immediate action. The Director General of the OECS will meet with the Private Secretary of the President to put that committee together. The names have already been mentioned. The folks involved have already been identified. In fact, it's possibly the first time that we've had such immediate action to form a committee immediately. That happened today. So I want to tell you that we are buoyed by that. And I'm sure with the president's instructions and the president's goodwill and the way he has expressed his desire to help the region, we expect immediate and tangible results, particularly what the president calls the low-hanging fruits, which in that case would be the scholarships and the visa requirements. We expect that to happen almost immediately, as I said, probably within the next academic year, as far as the scholarships are concerned.
Thank you very much. I believe we can take advantage of our presence in Parliament and ready to actualize our, dreams of getting closer to facilitate, business opportunities, education opportunity, capacity building, and look at other areas of agriculture and food security. We can easily do that by having, a working commission. And we don't have to look further away. The organization themselves, they've indicated the number of, actually, the Director General of the Oecs. We work with my personal private secretary. The name of those we needed has been indicated, and we are moving forward from there. We won't drop the ball.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will now open the floor for the final question from the St. Lucian Press.
Ryan Daisy again. Yes, I know we spoke about as well low-hanging fruit, those areas that we can attack quickly. What would be one of the more difficult, or some of the more difficult areas to tackle?
I don't look at difficulties. I look at problem solving. And that is why the working lunch promoted that quick understanding of what could be your expectation of difficulty. I just a little melting point in bureaucracy. If we work less and take a geometric definition of straight line, which is the quickest point between 2 points. So if we move on a straight line, we get our goal achieved quicker, and there will be no problems.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this press briefing.
Well, I think the two addresses by our President and the Prime Minister, Mr. Pierre, I think it will open some new relationship between Nigeria and not just St. Lucia, but also the Oecs states. For a long time, the continent of Africa literally abandoned the Africans in diaspora, but I think that's changed with OAU even now calling the Africans in diaspora the 6th African region. What Nigeria is doing today, what the President has done today, is to further broaden the bonds that bind all of us together, both Africans in diaspora and Africans on the continent. Nigeria being the largest, the most populated African country. I think from what the President said, and from the historical ties we've had before, people-to-people relationship, Lucians playing some important role in our country. I think this will mark a new beginning, something that will resonate in the future.
I think it's rather exciting. It shows that the Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, is not just engaged in the big countries, the big strategic countries around the world, the likes of America, China, India, Brazil, but also has focus and attention on the smaller ones, the ones that we will look at and say they don't matter, but they do matter. We have with St. Lucia, we have cultural similarity, we have also historical history with them, historical relationship, and also it's a gateway towards the Caribbean. It's 130 billion economy in the Caribbean. So the relationship with Nigeria and St. Lucia and also the East African Caribbean states is vital. It's vital for our access into the Caribbean regarding our trade, cultural, and even our access even with the United Nations. Nigeria can ensure that we have partnership and attention from the Caribbean countries if we seek support for international opportunities. For instance, if we want to head United Nations or areas in international cooperation. So the support of the Caribbean countries is vital. And we ensure that Nigeria's president here not just brings in the delegation that with our Minister of Environment, Minister of Culture, but also ensures that we have this diplomatic relationship established for the betterment of both countries. Yeah.
Thank you.